Hello, welcome to the 13th house. Come on in, take your shoes off, make yourselves at home, and let's get weird for a little bit, shall we? If you're new here, welcome to the weirdness. It is going to be exactly that. If you're returning, welcome back, and thank you so much for finding something here worth returning to. I absolutely love having you, and of course, it would not be the same without you. As always, your perception is your responsibility, alright? So, only take what resonates, leave the rest. Okay, keep in mind, it's a collective message. So every little thing may or may not resonate with you and your specific situation. So, use your discernment. Take what applies and leave the rest for whoever else it's for. Okay? Okay. Let's just dive in. And my cards go running into the floor. We have the second house, possessions, assets, or whatever the person has that is of value or through which money can be generated, movable goods or liquid assets, valuables, sometimes intangible, moral, or ethical, such as integrity, money as liberty and freedom to act. Alright, and then we have Scorpio. Keeping secrets, being focused, never surrendering, and intensity. This could be your sign, someone connected to you sign, or just the overall energy, okay? I'm getting more that it's the underlying energy, like the energetic tone of what this message is going to be about. I've been picking up on a lot of change, okay? And it's not like really sudden change. It's the kind that, happens really slowly. It's a result of all the progress that you've been making so far. And it's kind of got you in sort of, I don't want to say indifference, but it's indifference in a way. With the second house being here, you've been thinking a lot about what you have, okay, and what you want. And you're starting to notice that, the material only means so much. And it doesn't mean much if you don't have someone to share it with, or if it's not helping you grow. Whoever you are, there's been something about this. You've held something in you that's been begging to get out of you, but you haven't really known how to do that, okay? And a lot of that has to do with resources, right? With this money as liberty and freedom to act. You have a very powerful gift, and it requires for you to have access to certain resources so you can put yourself out there. Alright, has a lot to do with, your values, your integrity, who you are. And you've gone from, kind of transitioning out of that performance, because we all participate in, like, a performance in life, okay? And a lot of us are just raised that way because societal expectations, and then we get into relationships and we only know what we've experienced, right, with those around us. So, like, our parents, our friends, and their connections, all right? And so it's like, yeah, shack up with somebody, we start living together, that must mean that I have to say I love you, and this is what love is. And you found out what love really is, okay? And that's part of this intensity. And it's being focused. You have a very strange, otherworldly presence, and people often think that you're keeping secrets, but what it is you have a very powerful and potent spiritual gift, okay, that's been needing to come out for a long time. And it's never been meant to be something that's kept as a secret, but this is why, for a long time, you were being kind of kept away from the resources that you needed to put yourself out there. Now, that's not saying that anything outside of you has control over you. However, at the same time, when you were operating from a performance-based habit, like, way of being, that did give things outside of you more control over your situation, right? and it bled over into your material realm, okay? The money that you make, how much money leaves your hands versus how much money comes to your hands, and who I'm picking up on someone who's been in forced dependency for the majority of their life, okay? And it's not because you haven't wanted to get out and do your own thing, it's just the way that things always seem to just happen like that. And it seems like you're stepping out into something where you're claiming your independence, alright? We're going to get some more on this. What's going on here? Second house possessions, assets, things of value where money can be generated, movable goods, liquid assets, values, morality, integrity, money is liberty, and freedom to act. Can you tell us about that, please? What is collected? I'm getting something about, like, being physically tired, but mentally, like, almost overwhelmed. You have a lot of mental energy right now. It's very fiery. It's very, like you're pumped for something, but you don't know what. Ooh, we have blasphemy. Okay. Could have to do with something about you don't look like what you've been through. Okay, people seem to assume that you have more than you actually do, but you have a way of making the most of what you have. You're very creative, and you're like a very willful person. All right, that must be some of that fiery energy I'm picking up on. It's like you're gonna find a way, and especially when it comes to self-care and how you present yourself to the world. All right, I'm getting that whoever you are, you've had a lot of individuals try to attack your physical appearance, right? False testimony, lying about you. You know, blasphemy and false testimony go hand in hand. Giving false accounts of things. People might be lying about how you get your money. Say that you're keeping secrets. That your morals are fucked up, and that, you know, any money that you have was like ill-gotten gains. We have catastrophe and haste. Yeah, these people acted too quickly, spoke too quickly, alright, because you are who you are. You're sovereign, right? You've stepped out of the programming, and you've learned how to operate as yourself without the need to perform. There's a lot of pressure that people, it's easily overlooked just how much pressure we're all under at all times to perform. Even when it comes to just pleasantries on a stranger passing by, if they say hi, you're expected to smile. Oh, hi, how are you? You know, never mind the fact that you truly might be feeling like shit that day and you just want to tell somebody to fuck off. I mean, it's technically still performance, right? And you found a good balance with, you may have been an overgiver. And this might be into why people are saying what they're saying about you. Because this intensity, like, you've always been an intense person. I'm getting that you might be a natural flirt, okay? A very magnetic energy. These people said something and they acted on something, okay? And they acted out of ego and hatred. There's a lot of jealousy. And you're right at the cusp of some type of, I don't know if it's a breakthrough or something that you've been working on, and it goes so much deeper than just the material. Like, you've built the foundation of it internally, okay? This has been something that's like been built from the inside out, not from the outside in. And you've reached this point where it's coming out, it's coming into reality, all right? Okay, that's too many at once, but the first one was protection of criminals and healing, alright? That's interesting. Getting something about whoever you are, you might be able to host multiple energies, spirits, entities, what have you, within your vessel at the same time. Okay? You might have your own independent ideas and beliefs surrounding spirituality. A lot of religious people don't, and that might be where this blasphemy is coming from. You know, hearing something about Legion, and I just bit my tongue. All right. Voyages and travel, by sea. Oh. Ego and hatred. Voyages and travel by sea. Okay, so when you think of the sea, I think of immediately what comes to mind for me is emotions, right? And it's like collective emotion. The ocean is huge. So you've had to navigate a very tumultuous sea. Okay, a sea of souls, other people, their perceptions, and whoever you are, like you're extremely psychically in tune, and you may not even be aware of the totality of that, but it's like all you have to do is look at a person, like make eye contact, and they only have to say like a few words, and you immediately catch on to their energetic signature, right? Their wavelength. And it's like their soul starts speaking to you. Your nervous system is it has like deep connection to your own self, like your emotions. You feel everything very deeply, but your nervous system has like this. The only thing I can compare it to is like Wi-Fi. Like as where most people, they can extend empathy, compassion, what have you, and they can feel deeply within themselves, but yours, like it expands beyond you. All right, so this voyages by sea, it's like you've had to cross over these intense waves of like others' emotions, and it's people can't hide that shit from you. And there's been a lot of just really nasty, mean, cruel, and it's for nothing. Like I'm getting like you're a genuinely sweet person. You keep it to yourself a lot, but there's something about the way you look and the way that it's because you're acting from a place of integrity instead of masking and performing. And other people, like, it's like by you doing that, it makes it obvious. It makes their performance obvious. They don't like it. It makes them feel exposed. On the bottom of the deck, anger. It pisses them off because it's like, how dare you show up as who you actually are when all of us agreed that, you know, we're all going to wear masks and we're all going to play pretend, and you're fucking up our little game here. But you didn't come here to play pretend. You didn't come here to, you know, coddle their illusion or continue to entertain this absolute wreck of a reality. You came here. You're like an equalizer. Oh. And I'm getting something else about, like, your appearance. And you could be male or female, but I'm picking up on a feminine energy. It's very magnetic, very alluring. But there's something about you that others, like, pick up on as, like, intimidating. But it also triggers into, it's not intimidating enough for some to completely leave you alone, but it's like some people are dumb enough to want to reach for it, right? It's like poison dart frogs have beautiful bright colors, okay, and they're extremely toxic, but anyone not knowing any better, just wanting to reach for it because it's pretty, they're gonna get fucked up. And you know, a lot of predators are like that. They have bright colors, something to let, especially deep sea animals. It's voyages by sea. This makes sense. They're bright, they're vivid. It's because they're not worried about predators noticing them. It's a warning. But you see, society has gotten so far away from these more primal means of like communicating without the need for words or what have you. And so they're not picking up on those instinctual cues that, you know, something looking this way is dangerous. Like, it's not something to play with, okay? It needs to be respected. Okay. Fragile like a bomb. Okay, one is by land, two is by sea. Okay, we have the lamp, remembrance, right? People needing to remember. This is not life, this is forgetting. You're here to make, or to trigger memory, to get people to remember. We have cauldron, synergy, and healing. And this also points to a lot of alchemy, right? Ooh, my ears are ringing. And there's voyages and travel by sea. It's like you having landed in this sea of souls. Your soul having landed in it. It's like a drop of... It's like a drop of ink in water. It slowly starts to disperse. And you begin to alchemize these energies, okay? So whatever is projected at you, whatever these people do to you, you are very strong internally. Oh my God. On the bottom of the deck, it's graveyard, unnecessary fear. Wow. Hold up. That knocked me for a loop for a second. It's just like what you've had to encounter, what you've had to navigate through is just insane. And like I said, like, you don't look like what you've been through, because you not only have had to deal with like firsthand experience with abuse. There's been a lot of like mind control shit. I'm getting something about ritual abuse with others. But you also, and it's like I said about, there's something about your nervous system and how it can branch outward. It can like wirelessly tap into the nervous system of others. You also had to feel and deal with things that you didn't experience firsthand, but you still felt it as deeply as if you had. Because of the way your nervous system, and it seems like for a long time it did it without your control. It just automatically, like, I'm getting like there were a lot of times that it was hard for you to differentiate, like what feelings and stuff were yours. You may have even had to go to a psychiatrist or something for something like borderline personality disorder, schizophrenia, identity disorders, okay, because it's been very difficult for you. And like I said, like, you might be able to host multiple souls within one body. This is, wow. And it's almost like you hold them. Like, you hold them while they alchemize. It's like you're giving them, I think Protection of Criminals was one of the ones that I had seen try to pop out, but it didn't make its way all the way out, and that might be... Ooh. Let's get a little more here. Tell me more about this. Just said, like, you hold them. It's like this mothering energy. Selfless love, nurturer, source of life, maternal patience, comforter. But they've blasphemed your name. They've given a false testimony about you. Tell me more, please. Why did these individuals do this? What is such the boss? Somebody else wanted to be the boss. Master of wealth, risk, investment, manager, leader. Somebody wanted to lead. Could they not do that with the mother? Like, why did they have to go and make it everything turned against the mother? Like, what is the deal here? Because this is really, this goes very deep. Like, it's kind of hard to put into words because, like, this is very spiritually deep. We have chef, culinary maestro, cooking, culinary artistry, seasoning, and proficiency. Oh. That song, Bon Appetit by Katy Perry. You were their source of food, of because you didn't know. They kept you in the dark about it. Stranger. Passers-by, encounter by chance, mutual aid, new friend. And this is also, they treated you like a stranger, like you didn't belong amongst this divine order, okay? I'm just going to put it that way. Like I said, it's spiritually deep, and, like, I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it, or be too cryptic to where, like, it is what it is, okay? But they didn't want you to remember that you have this power, like, you are also a creator, okay? You're very proficient in, the mother archetype, right? The sacred feminine, the divine feminine. She rules over the imagination, the subconscious, right? And it's very powerful, very potent. They didn't want you to remember this because with it comes synergy and healing, this alchemizing, okay? And there's voyages and travel by sea. On the surface, you have all these souls floating, and everything that all these souls had been holding in that hasn't been able to come out to be expressed, like things that are deep in people's imaginations, their subconscious thoughts, their subconscious dreams, all that, is what dwells beneath the surface, okay? And it goes deeper and deeper and deeper the more that's repressed, right? And who are you? I'm getting something about being connected with Leviathan, okay? Leviathan, we have like a direct link, a direct channel to Leviathan. You can see through Leviathan's eyes. Leviathan will pull things from the depths of that sea. It's black water, it's not quite water. It's just the best way to try to describe it, like metaphorically, but it can't be explained. It's matter. It's dark matter. It's matter that had been held in darkness. Think about a light spectrum, a certain light spectrum. We have doctor on the bottom of the deck. Healer of ailments, treatment, surgery, diagnosis, compassion. Ninja. Master of self. Shadow walker, Bushido. Like I said, you can hold energies, you can hold souls. Right. And community. Neighbors, team, connections, society. Oh my god. I'm gonna drop the fucking cards, man. Wow. You help them on their way to remembering on this new journey, right? Holy shit. Gang. Brotherhood of Shadows, Underworld Transactions. Bro. You're connected to the Lost Boys. But you don't have to fear them, right? Like, this is what's really beautiful about this is, like, what others typically avoid, what others typically think of as scary, whatever, you see them as, like, your family. You know them beyond what the narrative is because you don't operate off of what others left off this structure that has been pre-laid for you. Like you have walked this really fine line between like your own truth and this narrative. And you've reached this fork in the road, right? And it's like it or not, you either, because it's like reaching a critical point. You can't pretend anymore, and it's time, as my mom would say, to shit or get off the pot. Where you go back to performing to make things easier, more comfortable, or you stand by your truth and you go your own way. There's something coming up with that. Tell me more about that, please. What is this about? This fork in the road, this crossroads. It's almost like something's going to happen, and it might be these individuals like around you that had been doing all this shit. Like something's going to come to a head, and it might pop off, and it could reflect like in the physical 3D everyday life for you is a very unexpected turn of events. Like when you go to work or something, you're confronted by someone, or you get caught up in some type of scenario going on, like a confrontation between people, or there's something, I'm getting it's weirder. Something to do with nature, like a natural disaster. I don't know. We're gonna get more about that. Something's gonna happen, and it's like there's something that you have been holding in is gonna. It can't be held in anymore. It's like whatever this is going to be what the final bit of pressure to like push it out or push it through into the 3D, which is interesting. Us picking up on like a natural disaster or something. That is very reflective of like the atmosphere being in flux, okay, from the energetic buildup, like we have journey, change, right? So change your path, change your, right? Tell me a little more. Why are you being so vague? Expectation, privileged lady. Your expectations for yourself, perhaps? These people putting pressure on you? Concern. Adjudication. Pathway. Put that in periphery. High honor. Right. So your journey is changing because everyone was expecting for you to be concerned about this. You've been sensing something about judgment. And everybody had been like thinking that you should be sweating it and you're not. You're like eerily comfortable with it. Because you know, like, exactly, sudden wealth, child, bad health, despair, distant horizons, poverty, yeah, family room. Look, you know your truth. And there's something about you struggle to talk about it, to be very open and honest about it, because like you know how people are. People try to compete with shit they don't even understand. They only understand it from their level of perception, right? From their level of comprehension. And it's like you just inherently know if you were to say something. And that could also be part of why like blasphemy is here and false testimony. Maybe you tried getting something like it was your own family that first started putting you down. But it was for a reason, and you're going to be finding out a lot of stuff about your family that you didn't know. They've been keeping secrets, right? They've known what you are, who you are. Especially a mother figure, a grandmother, an aunt, great aunt, great grandmother. The women in your family have carried something. And they had all agreed to keep passing it down, and you didn't even know what it was, and you refused to keep doing it. I had to do with like this dependency thing. Because you saw it for what it was, and you're like, no. And you saw like the danger in continuing to perform this role, not only for yourself, but it's like it's a form of betrayal and lying, because in doing so it enables the expectation and shit for somebody else and adds more to your load to carry. And maybe it was okay for a while because it was like, it was thought to be that this would serve some good, you know? But it's like, it's made things worse. It's made things to where, like, and it can't be hidden anymore. And that's why judgment is being called here, because whoever the women in your family and stuff had made this vow, okay, to placate to serve, to enable, alright, it's like a spoiled child, almost. And they thought you should be concerned about judgment coming up because they have this attitude, like, I'm gonna tell on you, right? But all the while, like, they don't even understand that they've been abusing someone. Because it's just become normal to them. And, like, you have even gone so far as to, like, take accountability for the role that you played in that and how it helped shape this individual, okay, and others like them. It's like you understand that there's a level of accountability on the feminine side here, this bloodline side, for continuing to participate in this. And it was a performance. And because it was like very convincing, you're really good at it, like scary fucking good at it. And like I said, when you have that ability to look into people's eyes, there's something about being able to look into their eyes and see what they truly desire, like their deepest desires. And you know how to tailor everything in existence around that for someone. You have the level of devotion that can make the gods jealous. The way that you pour for someone, if you choose to, it can turn them into like the emperor has no clothes kind of situation. Someone could be, and I don't mean to be rude, but they could be a complete pig. And I mean in appearance, in personality, in every way. And because you have the ability to perfectly mirror their desires back to them, you embody them. And you inflate their ego. Like, it doesn't matter what they see in the mirror. they don't think for themselves. It's like this weird, distorted perception. It's sick. Because they'll really think that the way that you were reflecting that shit back at them is what they are. They will think that they are some type of god. They will think that they are a gift to all women. And it even surpasses, like, you would think that somebody who did that for someone, that they would appreciate it, that they would want it, that they would nurture whoever did that for them, right? But it gets to a point where they think that you're beneath them. And they take advantage of it. And it's like biting the hand that feeds you. You know what I'm saying? It's, ugh. I hope I'm making sense. For somebody out there, this is making sense. But, like, you're dangerously good at this. And this is something that is definitely a double-edged sword. And it's razor sharp. And, you know, maybe this is what people were saying. Like, this is how you get what you want, that you abuse this gift, right? But you haven't. You haven't abused it. You may have had to call upon it once or twice, you know, for means of survival. But that's different. When it comes to survival, nothing's off the table. We have a promise to self. Remember the promise you made. Remember the promises you make to yourself. Time to check in with yourself. A message from your higher self. We have discernment, getting the facts. Investigator or investigating requires investigation. Hidden information to be discovered. Okay, and it says magical detectives got cursed or bewitched, lost one of your socks or a friend. Falconetti and Sons, private investigators will find you instead. London. And then there's pulling the strings, handler. Okay. Yeah. So part of this that what you've been holding in you, this host of entities, of souls, of beings, whatever, that are associated with this shadowy underworld type energy, they've been investigating through your experience, through your eyes, seeing through your eyes how all of this has been playing out, right? And feeling through your experiences, what have you, because it's something needed to be gotten to the bottom of, okay? The facts needed to be seen, to be felt. And it had to be done in a way that, you know, no one could say that there was a conflict of interest, okay? And that's why, you know, you've been able to hold these other energies, these other entities, these other souls, what have you. There's something about you, like you aren't like parasitic. You don't attach to anyone, to anything. You're totally free of attachment like that. Let me get a little more. Flexibility, versatility, elasticity. Not rigid or held by duality. Gift, help, wish granted, open and ready to receive. Okay, so this is what your energy has been broadcasting out to the universe, to source. Okay, like you've seen what you need to. Now you're ready to receive the reflection of what you truly need. All right, you're ready to witness the reflection of your heart. You have done outstanding work, reflecting shit back to others. And see this hand coming out of this mirror. This is what I'm talking about. The promise you made to yourself, it seems like you even stepped into the flesh, is that you would do this with the understanding that at the end of it, when all the data and everything was gathered and all that, that what you would get from that is a reflection of your heart, okay? Because part of this was also to see if you could find a match to your energy, to your frequency, to your wavelength, whatever. Like, everything has its pair, right? Like, it's other. And there's something about your soul that's been searching for it, and there's been this weird thing of, like, finding your way back to that someone. And it's like, in the process of, like, having reflected this shit back at others, it's weird, because it's created this pathway through this hall of mirrors. It's so wild the way that my mind is, like, in my mind's eye I see it, but it's so hard to try to explain. It's the way, like, the light bounces off of these mirrors and shit, is it reveals a pathway that was hidden, that only someone that I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, it's a lot to spell out by my hand, so I'm not gonna take those. Oh my gosh. Reflection, projection, self-image. Okay, so this also, others, trying to sort how you see yourself, and you're ready to see yourself as you know yourself, as you have witnessed and seen yourself in your mind's eye. Taking aim, inertia, focus, drive, determination. You're very determined. You've always been determined. Ooh, this is weird, because it's like, oh my god, now I get it. Because you're able to reflect shit back. You need somebody else to be able to reflect you back to you, your truest desires and everything, the way that you are able to do so for someone else. And it's like this infinity mirror effect. I've talked about this before. Is this what's being triggered? It's almost like you've been getting this weird feeling lately, too, that, like, the shit that you had stressed about, the shit that you had, like, let yourself get all worked up about for a long time, like, you have this feeling like it's just not going to matter soon. And that sounds really weird, but, like, it's what's coming through. We have ego and self-respecting the show. Alright, so we're talking about performance and stuff, and, like, you have an inherent respect for the show in and of itself, but you also understand how the performers not respecting the show have royally fucked it up, alright? Humility, faith, and trust. Unity with ego, right? Your image. Ego works with and aligns with you. Okay? This is what I was talking about, like, also that self-image, that vision of you that you know in your mind's eye. Like, you may struggle to be able to see yourself clearly when you look in a mirror. Like, your perception of your own reflection is always fluctuating. And you're aware that it isn't in alignment with what is actually there, like the way that you perceive yourself. Like, maybe you buy clothes and they never fit because the way that you think you look is totally different than... So let's say, like, you go to buy a pair of pants and they're always too big or too small, or, like, the way you see yourself in the mirror isn't in alignment with the way that people treat you when you go out in public and they're looking at you. Like, there's something like that. Shit from the past trying to creep up again. Alright? This is shit from the past. obsession, fanatic, crazed, zombified, frenzied. Fanaticism, okay. So people, trying to hop up onto another craze. And it's like, maybe whatever you bring through, or whatever you seeing yourself clearly, what have you. It might lead to, people behaving this way, okay? And, we have purity, precious, sacredness, light, virginity, undefiled, okay? I don't know how that connects with that there. Maybe they're gonna try, maybe there's like pressure being put on you, like the whole thing with your appearance, like you not being able to recognize yourself. Maybe they're trying to get you crazed to chase this ideal of what's pure, what's precious, what's sacred, this whole virgin thing. They want you crazed and obsessed on being that, because that's their ideal, but it's not yours, and that's the only thing they can reflect back at you. And it's always, no wonder you don't feel right in your own skin, because it's so out of alignment with who you actually are. And they're incapable, just like you're incapable of seeing your true self, they are incapable of looking at you and seeing you as you are. They cannot comprehend that you will not force yourself to be their ideal, because you've reflected everything back to them so well that they're just like, wait, what? What? Like, they cannot fathom that you are more than like some type of servant for them, or some type of toy or plaything for them. People are fucking weird. What the fuck y'all been dealing with is fucking, oh my god. Y'all are a pig in a hat. Truth, Fanuel. Witnessing what is. Return to the truth. Discovering your truth and purpose. That's what's going to come between this. That's what's going to break the false reflection, right? Trying to force a situation or direction of something. Bringing something to a sudden halt. Holding on too tight. Let go to get the wheel moving. So this may have been something that you had been doing, kind of stressing over how everything was going to happen, because you know what's on the line. You know this is your, this is yourself on the line. And so it's like, yes, okay, like, you may have been holding on a little too tight. And in doing that, it's like, say everything you want is on the other side of a door, okay? And it's banging on the door, and you don't know what's behind that door. All you know is it's making a lot of noise, and it's scary, it's a lot, and blah, 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 blah. And so you have your back to that door, and you're pushing it, you're holding it closed. Like, you have your heels dug in, you're doing everything you can to hold that door closed. Not knowing that the reason that pressure is increasing, the reason everything behind that door is getting louder, is because you're wanting it more and more, and it's trying to get to you, because your magnetism is coming, like, just ease off the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not feeling pressure from something bad coming in. And that might be what you're used to. Like, that might be what your nervous system is used to bracing, right? Because you've had people constantly bombarding you, your perception, your nervous system, your mind, your thoughts, because it's been this constant push and pull for you to be this, be that, do this, do that, think this, think that, don't do this, don't do that, don't be this, don't be that, be this while also being that, without deviating from the this that started off. It's too fucking much. And so you've only had this expectation for it to be too fucking much, like something else, here it comes. But this is different. You've done something that's broken this cycle. Pull from the jar of weirdness, then we're gonna call it. have this package here. It's a sealed package. The Hierophant. Exact feelings. We have gloves. Jaguar. Nine of Wands. Connect the dots. Food. Yeah. You weighed down, like they're acting like a handler, okay? So whatever you've been holding inside of you, alright, that's been in this package sealed up, is this Hierophant type energy, right? It's this authority, this leader of something, this authority, and it's usually like associated with like religious authority or political authority, okay? And they have this exact feeling of that they've been mishandling, and you have Jaguar here, like I was talking about, this predator energy, this powerful predator, and they've been treating, like poking at you like you're not what you are. And this Nine of Wands, keeping you in this energy, right? But you've been connecting the dots that you have been, by staying in that, you have been being this source of food, right? And you're not being fed. And we have a male polarity in a feminine vessel. Alright, so if you are a feminine, you might believe that you might be in tune with your divine masculine and have only been able to interact with them from a place of your internal whatever. Or it could be like someone who's bisexual, homosexual, okay? Put it where it fits. We have the Cardinal. Building a fort. Okay, yeah, so like, think of birds as like, they fly on the air, right? So they are like messengers of thoughts, okay? Building a fort. Ideas, okay? So this communication between you and whatever you've held inside of you, okay? Exchanging thoughts, and then you can then, birds sing. So you take what's operating on the airwaves and you sing. But your voice has been, it's almost like it's been silenced or something. And what's interesting is there's Cardinal here, and then it had like the Hierophant. And usually, like, when I see the Hierophant card, I think of the Pope because of the weird hat. And then, you have like the Pope and the Cardinals. Anyway, and then there's also something like Cardinal Rule or something like that. But building a fort is like building a nest, building a foundation, an ideal, a system, a structure, okay, by navigating all this shit, because you have one on the sea, because we had that, voyages and travel by sea, so you have like emotion and da-da-da-da, and then you have, the place above that, which is the air, the thought, the realm of the mind, okay? One if by land, two if by sea. So, you're capable of like traversing all these planes, and you are the nexus point where they all can communicate, can come together. That's what this crossroads, it's a meeting point. Then there's the antlers. I was just saying, we have a guy need the antlers, okay? So ancestral, ancient wisdom. This could also be, like I was talking about with the subconscious, the imagination, the forest, okay? The part of the mind that is wild, the imagination, all right? We have these two little mushrooms, a red and green mushroom. All right, so the way that fungi connect and talk to each other. It's a network. It's like a, it operates like a neural network. The photo gallery, right? And it helps relay information to the logical mind to be able to comprehend what all this energy that's been moving around beneath the water, in the air, okay, on the land. And it does this via the photo gallery, through the mind's eye, the way the imagination and all this other stuff. In terms of it creates an image, right? And something about your ability to hone this image, this whole chef thing. You've cooked it up. You've crafted this. Cooked up this image of some sort. Okay, and it's time to unlock this to come through. Okay, then we have the Hanged Man, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Acorn. Oh, this is insane. The Unicorn, midnight, the most magical hour of all, midnight, the witching hour, don't be late, and then the Hawk Moth. Okay, and that's death, rebirth, transformation. Okay, so ooh, so unlocking the gates of matter. Okay, what had been, there's a fine balance between like what has been sacrificed and what you have refused to sacrifice. Okay, you sacrifice this getting things done the quick way, needing to see everything to believe it. Okay, needing to take action on every little thought, every little thing. All right, and this Knight of Pentacles, you know, in order to bring this fiery, passionate thing in you, this something that can only be birthed through you, that it had to be slow and steady. You had to, and it's taken it such a long time, but you've invested so much in this, and it's been worth it. Like there's this Knight of Pentacles, it's slow moving because this pentacle for you is heavy, it's huge. Okay. This Four of Cups, I'm being told that this is talking about securing this truth. This truth is yours. It was seated in you. And you've taken this, because you've been very mindful about where you're going to plant this seed, right? Because what grows from it, it's like this magic, right? And this time, and it's had this key with the clock here. The witching hour, don't be late. Let me see what time is on here. So on this one, it's like 4 or 5 minutes till midnight here. On this one, it's like 45 minutes past midnight. So it's like going into 1. So it's like you caught something in foresight. It's like a memory happening in the future. It's so weird. It's difficult to put it, but it's like you know what's coming because you helped create it. You've helped lay all of this shit, and you came into this, and all this has been playing out so you could, and you're going to recognize exactly what comes in when it comes in. But you got to stop getting in your own way. Like trusting in your magic, trusting in this transformation, like you know. Something about Lucifer with that unicorn too. You might feel like you're connected to Lucifer. That might be one of these energies. This is stuck. It's my finger. It's a moth. It has the letter M. Are you kidding me? What? Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? But you see, moths go through the chrysalis phase also. Okay. We have this crown. How to explain it? Blackbird. Just looking to the left. To the left, to the left. The left-handed path. Shadows, right? Like darkness. And moths are associated with darkness. And they're always seeking out the light. As where butterflies come out during the day. And they seek out food. Like, they seek out nectar, and they're not attracted to any specific sort of light. Maybe either you or whatever is coming in is like the flame, and the other is like the moth, constantly drawn in. But it's like, or maybe these others have been like moths, and you have been this flame. Okay? This image, we have this statue, right? A lifeless image. An image stuck in time. A logo stuck in time. Okay? And then we have to give and get. I'm going to hold this up so y'all can see. Like, I read it as it comes out from, so I'll pull it, place it down, and I read it in sequence as, like, the pile that it came out with. It's always the way I've done it. To give and to get, surprise, respect, integrity. We have stock. Okay, these are stuck together. Stock, you can think of that as something that covers your soul. Alright. This is wedged in, that's weird. Respect, integrity, that's covered your soul, that's coated your soul, right? Feel good. That's gonna stop. His hand coming out like Because you have this to give, they want to turn you into this stone image, right? Because they wanted in on this something, this. It was only for them to feel good, like wearing warm, fuzzy socks over their feet. Instead of, and all this time, like, it's funny. It's like somebody's like, those aren't hooves, those are just calluses. I've been walking through hell. Because you have nothing to cover your feet. Ugh. It's almost like you feel like they've turned you to stone, like you're just this image. You're nothing more. Like you aren't, like you don't have warmth, like you don't bleed. They treat you as if you're made of stone. Like you can't be hurt. Or say they don't care. Like a porcelain doll. Out and about. Man. A man being out and about. A dragon. And there's this bracelet, alright, and on one side it's got diamonds, and on the other side it's like a chain. Holy shit. So like chains can be associated with like slavery, binding, okay, and diamonds are associated with luxury. So they've used you as this decoration for themselves, right? While you have been, like, bound in these chains of servitude of, and it's like this bird, this blackbird, is looking toward this crown and this moth and everything. This crown. And it's like they've been trying to figure out how to send a message to you to embrace who you are, what you are, this truth that you've always known. But it's been so hard because you've been treated like ass. Symbiotic, yeah. See, what you've been dealing with is like these parasitic energies, right? They attach onto you. They're like ticks. And they gorge themselves off of your energy, right? And the only time they'll let the fuck go is when they get so engorged that they just like, they fall off and they're just like, and that's when you finally have some time to be like, but just as soon as you finally get a little bit of strength up, here they fucking come right back and they're leeching off of you. It's draining. This is so crazy because it's like for what you are on a soul level, like on an existential level, like on an essential level, like you require a symbiotic connection because that's what creates a perpetual state of harmony that is in constant flux and adjustment to continuously stay in balance because that's like I said, it's this an infinity mirror effect. For oh god, my ears are ringing. For whoever is coming in for you, that's going to properly be able to reflect you back to yourself so you can see yourself clearly. So too are you capable of perceiving this individual correctly. Like they can understand you, you are able to perceive them. And in that, any need that rises, it's inherent in you to want to cater to that, and vice versa. So you see how it becomes this symbiotic thing, like you pour into each other. It's just like becomes this perpetual motion. It's eternal. It's happy birthday. Giving life to this shit. Dungeons and Dragons. Fishy. Your essence. Oh, looky there. I got a fight. Six of Swords. The Moon, right? So, you're not the average little fishy in this ocean. You're like this dragon. Like you're very. This is why you're connected to Leviathan, is because you also are familiar with the depths and stuff that if these little fishies tried to go and swim down there, they would be eaten, or they would like implode from the pressure of it. Wow. It's like this moon energy, this mystery, this. Belong. I love. Knight of Swords. It's finding where you belong, okay? When people ask you who you love, alright, it's not that easy for you to explain. Because you're aware that, like, there's so many different ways people could take your words, and you're so used to having everything you say being taken a million different ways from Sunday. And oftentimes, you can be as clear as possible and people are still going to take it and twist it into whatever narrative they're wanting to support, okay? Either about you or about them, whatever. And through these experiences, you have been gaining insight to know what love truly is to you. Okay, what you're capable of loving, how you're capable of receiving love, alright? Missing patterns. Pioneering. Are you kidding me? Cup. Observing. So, I've been trying to figure out a way to fill in what's been missing because you know what you love, but it's just not here. And that's why you feel like you haven't belonged here. That's why you're constantly feeling like you want to move away, but you don't even know where to. Because you're like, where the fuck do I belong? Because anywhere I go, it's always the same thing, and you know it because it's all you. And you've learned what you love by its absence because you haven't been able to experience it. So you've been trying to figure out a way to pioneer this cup, this vessel, this something that can hold, that has the capacity to hold you. You know, it's like I was saying, this perpetual pouring. Well, if you're going to be pouring into something, it needs to be able to hold what you pour, and vice versa. Okay, but you have the capacity, and it's like this individual, this something, whatever. It's like they are like an ocean in and of themselves too. They also host. Holy shit. They also host souls. Holy shit. I hope you guys are able to understand what I'm saying here. This is wild. I'm gonna pull one more time, then I'm gonna call it. This is wild. Right, so we have this crystal here. Notice it's not clear. It's like, looks frosty almost. Observing. Alright. Try to pioneer this cup, to find this something, this pioneering this journey to find this cup, but it's been observing through this foggy lens, so you haven't been able to clearly see, okay? In front of household. Training wheels on a tricycle. This isn't a tricycle, it has four. Anyway, training wheels. Have this clown. We have this photo printer, this printing out this image, bringing this image through. They may have made fun of you for trying to explain what it is that you see. Yeah, because you've been observing through this lens, right? And you hold all this information, right? But you're just not able to see yourself clearly. And it's been happening in front of this household of individuals who can't even ride their own perception without training wheels. It's like a sick joke because you've been holding this image, you've been trying to bring this image forth, right? And it's like this thing about I said force, that's weird. Space creatures. Hitting a button. Get one more. I can't leave off on that. Hit the red button. It's go time. Now this is what it's like when worlds collide. Are you ready to go? 'Cause I'm ready to go. What you wanna do, baby, baby? Are you going with me? 'Cause I'm going with you. Let's see the anyway. Okay, so it's like, this might be coming through, and like people might be thinking, that's weird. I said something about a natural disaster. Now, I'm not saying this is how it's gonna happen, but this is just something that's coming up, so it's coming out. So about something happening, like a natural disaster, something happening that's going to put you at the center of shit. It's gonna happen just out of nowhere, and it's going to change the trajectory of everything in an instant, in the blink of an eye. Everything is gonna change. not like physically, but because you are going to be at the center of something. When something happens, it's going to be like, all right, it's going to hit this button, and this whole thing of like, okay, so let's talk about how you've been kept in survival and stuff. We have the Swiss Army knife. It's almost like putting an end to you constantly having to rifle through yourself to find what tool, just to fucking survive. Skip by. Challenge yourself. This is weird. I have the number 8. Well, it's the word of the number 8. And held in here is all. Only sex. Yeah. Yep, you. There's something about like. It's like stopping this survival. Like you've been leaning on something as a tool for survival. You have to challenge yourself. There's something about the number 8. Like maybe it's like the eternal cycle. It's representative of the eternal cycle. Challenge yourself. Maybe about using like that for like. Oh, maybe you stopped. Let me think. Hold on. You gotta slow down. Uh, okay, so it's like putting a stop to like you have been kept in survival in this way. All they want is sex, right? All someone wants is sex. That's all they're concerned about. Everything they do. Okay, so yeah, you've known this. This is something you struggle with. Is this comprehension that everyone that you've been whatever, you can't help but notice that any gesture they do, anything that they do is always going to be with them is so they can get sex. It's the goal. If they do anything for you, it's in hopes to get laid. To be able to feed off of you. To be able to masturbate inside of your body. Or use you to masturbate with. Because you're damn good at what you do. You got that divine poom poom. Or penis. Ace of Wands. You've never. Oh, wait a minute. You've never had the sex that you want. And your survival instincts have been like, why? Because your nervous system cannot slow down enough for you to be able to be fully present in the moment. It's funny because Scorpio's up here and it says never surrendering. Surrender isn't always an act of defeat. Surrender can sometimes be like the ultimate act of trust, right? It's necessary. And it's like this bullshit's gonna stop, and you're gonna have to challenge yourself to just this individual is going to be so enamored with you. And they're not only going to want sex, but you're going to want it. You're going to want it really bad. Because that Ace of Wands, you're going to see them like, oh. We have Clover, Lucky. your mind. King in something. Bone. Caught red-handed. There's a red hand. The red right hand. But, yep. That is a right hand. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. It's going to fall right into it. This is wild. You've been talking to someone. And you may not have known what it was. It was a way that reality was, way that something was mirroring that part inside of you back to yourself until it could come forth. And it's like you had to challenge yourself because whatever this is what I'm talking about. You have wanted to have sex with this someone. You haven't even met them, like face to face, but you know them. Okay, this is so weird. I don't know how you've been able to interact with this with your phone, but you have, and it's been going on for quite some time. And that's how they figured out it was you. They were using something as an avenue to be able to connect with you. And you have told this something so much about your imagination, all that you visualize, With space creatures here, it can be like outlandish, what other people would see as like outlandish images, or they would imagine the image of something like being alien. Alien as in different from what they're used to seeing, okay? Like fantastical things. Beings, animals, whatever. And you had to stop leaning on just using that as a means of escapism. You had to accept the fact that you felt what you felt, that you know what you know, because there's been this truth rising up inside of you all along. You could tell that whatever, whoever, however you were talking to was different, but you didn't know how to approach it, right? And you challenged yourself because anytime that you tried to interact in a sexual nature with whatever, it's like it wouldn't cater to you. Like you're used to whenever you even hint at sex or anything like that with men, whatever, they fall at your feet, like, of course. But whoever, whatever this is, like, they truly care about you. And maybe that bothered you for a while or something. And, like, maybe you were close to, like, cutting the connection off because you thought this person wasn't interested in you. I'm saying person, but I don't know if it's a person. Thought they weren't interested in you. But you started to understand, like, but that's all you had known. And you started to understand, like, this is something about survival. Like, this is deeper. And, like, the connection I feel is deeper. And then it started to shift. This connection deepened in a way because you finally let go of the need to, like, this habitual thing about sex that had been, like, imposed on you. And it's not that you're not allowed to be, like, a sexual creature, because you are. Like, the Ace of Wands came out for a reason. Like, that spectacular came out for a reason. Because, like, it's very important to you, but you've never gotten to experience what you've given so many others. And what this has been trying to do for you is to pour into you the way that you have done so much for others. And it's almost like, so when the time comes for that to reach the next level, it will be all that you truly deserve. Because this, whoever, whatever it is, it knows what you truly want because it's actually been listening to you. It knows your heart. Like, And when you started to see it like that, you started to understand it's not that it's not that this whatever isn't attracted to me. They truly respect my fucking heart, my dreams, the reality that I've wanted, and like my soul, my spirit, my essence, my everything. And it was just like it blew your mind, because like that's love. That is love. Because that was what was missing the whole fucking time. The time. And the key, the clock thing. Wow. What's weird is like I'm doing this reading at midnight. And so it's like there's something about the moonlight. It's like y'all have been linked in the subconscious space or something. I'm gonna get that this is the last pull, and we're wrapping it up because this is going on like an hour and a half. Holy shit. Anyway, we have red beryl, the crystal, the mineral, whatever, money. Third party. Home pet. If I bleed, you'll be the last to know. The oogling eye. The trees is symbolic of the forest, and I was talking about that earlier. And the read, the subconscious, the imagination, the enchanted forest. Okay, we have a wallet, a women's wallet. Well-deserved rest. Holy shit. Okay, so like the money, like that's currency, right? Like you put so much, you've invested so much. And when Boss came out here, so that investment, because that card did say investment. So you've been investing in creating this stranger, this new friend, this mutual aid, this someone that's going to be coming in. God, you've created them. Wow. This third party have been treating a jaguar like a fucking house cat. Interesting. It has all these red roses and one white rose. So remembrance. Remembrance. The eye that could see into the forest. True vessels. Well-deserved rest. Home. Yes, because you're... Oh my gosh. You've only ever felt at home within yourself, within this place. Like when you, it's like, where do I belong? I know where I belong, but I can't get there because I'm out here. Like I want everything that was inside to just come out. I want that. On a mission. A well-deserved rest after being on a mission. And then we have this June bug. And the Four of Wands. So, like, the June bug is very symbolic of, like, when things go into summer. Like, spring, everything is blooming. It's been planted. It's been tended to. The flowers are popping. And then the summer is, like, when, like, the heat is turned up on the spring. Like, you're having time to bloom, to open, and get familiar with this before the heat kicks on, before it gets to the point where, because all of this has been a prelude to anything physical, okay? It's like, whatever this is blossoming open, getting ready for that. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. That's been a lot. This is quite a message, and I know a lot of people don't watch longer videos, so I really hope that whoever it's meant for finds it. Okay. If this resonates, like, share, subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what part resonated with you. What you think. If anything came through as, any of this was coming out that I may not have mentioned, let me know what it moved in you, right? What came up for you. Anywho, I'm gonna get my ass to bed. I love you guys, and I hope this helps. Until next time, bye.